Well, the polls close in Wisconsin in just a few hours from now. It's not expected to be a nail-biter. If polling is any indication, Speaker of the House Paul Ryan should easily defeat his pro-Donald Trump opponent, but he may face a bigger challenge come November, and that's preserving the Republican majority in the Congress. Ryan has faced criticism from both pro- and anti-Trump camps for trying to play the middle ground on sometimes controversial GOP nominees, statements, and others who don't like him within the party. But it's going to be a difficult high-wire act to follow, and again, the control of the House is in a balance. Helping me break it all down, Heather Higgins, Evan Siegfried, and Governor Jan Brewer. Governor Brewer, you know, I find it absolutely amazing over the weekend on social media how many people, core Donald Trump supporters, were actually upset that Donald Trump endorsed Paul Ryan, particularly after the way Paul Ryan treated him.
Well, I believe, Charles, that everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I think that Paul Ryan probably is the man for the job. Being Speaker of the House is a difficult position. He's definitely going to win his election tonight. He's going to be back there, and Donald Trump is going to have to work with him. And I saw yesterday with the economic plan that Donald presented at the Economic Club in Detroit that he has taken on Paul Ryan's tax program, and that's a good sign. I think they're beginning to understand that they're going to have to work together and get the job done for all of us. So I think we need to support them both.
All right, you know, Heather, here's the thing, though. It's Donald Trump ran against the establishment, and of all the establishment out there, I don't know that anyone has pushed back more than Paul Ryan.
That is right, but it is also true that the way Paul Ryan has handled it has worked incredibly well with not only people who are Trump supporters, but particularly people who might vote for Trump but are not there yet. They want to see the party come together. They expect Republican leadership to wind up supporting him, but they don't want to see a sort of fist-pumping endorsement. They respect Ryan having taken his time. And so the pushback that you're seeing to Ryan come from the two extremes, sort of the only Trump and the never Trump. But for the vast majority of the electorate, this is, I think, they think that the way Ryan is doing it is the right way to go.
You know, considering how close this is going to be, I did a poll on Saturday and over the weekend. About 75% said they thought it was a smart move, political move. But the other 25%, including Sasha, who tweeted me, she said, quote, he let that Pence snake talk him into it. Apple said his campaign strong-armed him into that, surprised that he listened. And Diane said, we need unity now, we must stick together. So again, that gets back to what you were saying. Evan, how do you see this playing out? Because certainly they're not buddies, but if Donald Trump is elected, they got to work as a team together.
Well, in your informal poll, I think that was 25%. We just saw what's worse than Trump walking out on Fifth Avenue and shooting someone. What Trump is going to need to do is just keep hammering his economic message and try and keep pushing why he appealed to them in the first place. But what he's not doing and still needs to do, and would really help him get people like Paul Ryan over, is to bring in new groups, bring in millennials, bring in minorities. You can't be polling at 1% with African Americans, very low with Latinos, Asians. It's not working. And if he can't get that, he's not going to be president. Although,
Governor Brewer, you know, the word is that he's got to unify the party before he can unify the country. I'm sure you might have heard these comments at a rally in North Carolina earlier today. I think they're being overblown, but there's no doubt they will be the cover of every newspaper come tomorrow morning. Governor Brewer, your thoughts on that?
Are you regarding to the Second Amendment statement?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I thought that was totally misconstrued by the media. It's outrageous. I don't believe that's what Donald Trump was indicating or suggesting whatsoever at all. Of course, we know that the Second Amendment people of the United States, they feel very strongly, and they show that strength by voting. And they can get out there and they can vote and have their Second Amendment rights protected with the Supreme Court justices. So it's just outrageous. Donald Trump, the left-wing media is after him continuously. The poor man can't say anything without them trying to go with it in a different direction. People have got to wake up and realize that the media sometimes taints things to the extent that it's that was just so bizarre.
Yeah.
When I heard that. Bizarre.
Well, you're gonna hear it again. I'm sorry. And by the way, sometimes it's being kind. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's not too different from what happened when Donald Trump said something that was genuinely funny, I thought, in the way that he was holding off on endorsing Ryan, using exactly the same language that Ryan had used against him. Paul Ryan is a big boy. He understood that this was a bit of tit for tat. He hadn't said that he wouldn't vote for him. He just delayed it a little bit.
But why the gamesmanship either way? And by the way, what about all of these Republicans? Every day there's a new Republican that says it's not good enough for them to quietly not support Donald Trump, but they're coming out and they're writing op-eds and things like that.
That's because they talk to themselves and they believe that that's where their social set is.
The problem is voters are going to look at people who back Trump and don't forcefully push away from him, and they're going to see them through the lens of Trump. Trump is a contagion on many candidates.
And this is what the left and the media would have us believe.
None of which I am.
But in fact, well, you're outlining their position very well, which is that you take everything you can
Republicans
and
aren't
you
always
characterize
Democrats
it.
Aren't always wrong.
I didn't say that, but I did say that in this particular instance, you're going to see everything that Trump says will be recharacterized in whatever way could possibly be put in the worst light to make him paint him as crazy and to try and persuade Republicans that they need to distance themselves. The greatest advantage to the left is if the Republicans don't unite, but Republican politicians don't all agree, Republican voters don't all agree, and they don't expect them to.
All right, guys.